Thank you, President Dodd, trustees, and cabinet members. Today I'd like to provide trustees a short preview of the local indicators that goes along with the uploaded document for this presentation item. Each year, with the exception of the pandemic of 2020, school districts are required not only to evaluate their progress regarding 5 state priority areas, but also to present them at a board meeting where the LCAP will be approved by trustees. As outlined on this slide, district staff, along with the LCAP committee, site principals, and district administration, evaluated the district's progress. First, Priority Area 1, Basic Services, was evaluated. The pandemic brought about several needs in this category. Did the district have enough staff to implement distance learning and meeting the shifting needs of students? Did the district have the resources to implement distance learning? Were the teachers, staff, and site administration well-versed in distance learning? Were the facilities safe during distance learning as well as when the district transitioned back to in-person learning? After evaluation, it was determined this priority was met due to not only procuring the number of teachers needed throughout the year, but all teachers held their English learner certifications. Also, all students had access to curriculum materials enhanced with the inclusion of video conferencing and instructional technology resources. Lastly, all campuses were rated good or exemplary on the facilities inspection tool commonly referred to as the FIT report. Second, Priority Area 2, implementation of state standards, was evaluated. Again, the pandemic allowed the district to pivot and provide curricular state standards through distance learning platforms. The district collaborated with the Teachers Association, which enabled all district teachers to build courses within the Canvas or Seesaw learning management systems, which provided consistency for all Lake Elsinore students and families. Fortunately, mathematics and English language arts were fully adopted in previous years and were fully integrated with the Canvas product. Much like these two areas, history social science at the secondary level was also previously adopted and was integrated with Canvas as well. As the district implements a next generation science standard adoption in fall of 21, again, the publishers have an integration tool for Canvas as we look to carry the successes from distance learning into our ongoing in-person curricular and instructional strategies. During the review, many positive comments came forward from district teachers and staff for the many meaningful professional development opportunities afforded during the 2020. Priority Area 3 is another area that was met, parent and family engagement. Again, the pandemic allowed an unexpected opportunity where parent and family engagement was restricted to video conferencing, Parent Square, our two-way communication tool, coupled with standard phone calls and emails. This year proved to be very difficult for all stakeholders, but through their willingness to collaborate, to be flexible, and to support our students, district stakeholders were able to connect through these very different mediums. Stakeholders were able to strengthen processes such as virtual IEPs or meetings, the Parent Power Network meetings, and access to Parent Square communications in the preferred language of Lake Elsinore families. Being able to partner with parent advisory councils as difficult decisions were made throughout the pandemic was invaluable due to the several needs of families outlined by the various surveys taken throughout the year. As the district reopens in August 21, staff will look to build upon these partnerships, these relationships, and resources as staff look to develop new parent advisory councils, sponsor quarterly forums, and continue to work on creating more welcoming environments where families feel included and heard. Priority Area 6, School Climate, was also evaluated. The LCAP committee took necessary steps to offer an LCAP survey that would better meet stakeholder needs. In the past, the survey was to be taken by each stakeholder group, only one survey, which may have been altered minimally to address specific needs. This year, each stakeholder group was sent surveys that were specific to not only their needs, but also to the level at which they supported, as a parent, as a staff member, or as a community member. This adjustment yielded the largest response yet. As covered in the slide, over 3,500 respondents took the survey, with over 80% of respondents being LUSD parents and/or students. The results were favorable in many areas, with specific areas to improve centering on improving district communication. In light of the pandemic, improving communication is an understandable goal. Lastly, access to a broad course of study was also evaluated. Again, strengths were identified as the district took these immediate steps to add staff to support students at the elementary and high school level to meet the specific needs of students, specifically as it related to learning loss and the learning recovery plan. Even during the pandemic, courses typically offered were continued, allowing access to all students, especially those who are underrepresented. As the district reopens, staff will continue to disaggregate data to not only review course enrollments specific to underrepresented student populations, but also to review the success of our students. Addressed this evening are only a portion of the document attached to this agenda item for review. On behalf of district staff, we'd like to thank you as a collective board for listening and lending your continued support throughout the pandemic to meet the needs of all district stakeholders. You allowed us to not only gather input from stakeholders, but also to take the necessary steps to support their desires and their wishes, as we all learn to pivot to meet their academic, social, emotional, learning, and safety needs. Our entire district is to be congratulated for having the empathy, understanding, and the willingness to collaborate through these very difficult times. Thank you. Questions?